Are you a senior who eats what you believe is a healthy diet? Whole grains, low fat foods, 3 meals a day, yet you still feel tired, gain weight easily, struggle with inflammation, or notice your body aging faster than it should? Here's a surprising truth backed by science. Most seniors are not eating too much. They are eating wrong for longevity. And this mistake isn't their fault. For decades, we were taught that aging well means eating less fat, more carbohydrates, frequent meals, and avoiding anything that raises cholesterol. But when researchers like Dr. William Li study people who live long, healthy lives into their 90s and 100s, they see a very different pattern. These people don't just avoid disease. They actively support the body's internal defense systems every single day through food. This matters because aging is not just about time passing. It's about what's happening inside your body, especially in your metabolism, immune system, liver, and blood vessels. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, insulin becomes harder to control, inflammation quietly increases, muscle mass declines, and the immune system loses precision. These changes don't happen overnight. They build slowly, year after year, often accelerated by well-intentioned but outdated dietary advice. And this is where longevity begins or ends. Dr. William Li's research focuses on how food can activate powerful biological systems like immune surveillance and angiogenesis control, the process that regulates blood vessel growth. When these systems are supported, the body becomes better at preventing cancer, reducing inflammation, and maintaining metabolic balance. But when they're neglected, even healthy eating can accelerate aging. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a well-designed city. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every meal sends instructions to your metabolism, immune system, and hormones. If those instructions constantly tell the body to store energy, spike insulin, and suppress repair, the city slowly breaks down. Longevity comes from sending the right signals consistently. Today, I'm going to explain why most seniors eat wrong for longevity, and more importantly, what to eat daily instead, based on the same science Dr. William Li uses in his research. We'll cover why insulin control matters more than calorie counting, which everyday foods activate anti-cancer and longevity pathways, how meal timing influences cellular repair, and how simple, repeatable habits can dramatically improve energy, weight control, and healthy aging. This is not about extreme diets. It's not about fear, and it's not about perfection. It's about understanding how your body works and working with it, not against it. Stay with me, because once you see the root cause, eating for longevity becomes surprisingly simple. Most seniors eat wrong for longevity because they unknowingly keep insulin elevated all day long. And insulin, more than calories, more than fat, more than cholesterol, is one of the strongest drivers of accelerated aging. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, our cells become less sensitive to insulin. This means the same foods you tolerated at 30 now create bigger blood sugar spikes at 60 or 70. When insulin stays high too often, the body gets stuck in storage mode. High insulin does 4 things that directly shorten health span. It blocks fat burning. It accelerates inflammation. It suppresses cellular repair mechanisms. It increases abnormal growth signaling. This is why many seniors say, I don't eat that much, but I keep gaining weight and losing energy. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin as a light switch. When it's on, the body stores fuel. When it's off, the body repairs, cleans, and burns fat. Most seniors never turn the switch fully off, not because they eat poorly, but because they eat too frequently and too carbohydrate heavy. Breakfast with toast or cereal, a mid-morning snack, lunch with rice or bread, an afternoon snack, dinner with potatoes or pasta. Even if portions are small, insulin never gets a break. What the research shows is that longevity improves when insulin has regular low periods, allowing the body to switch into repair mode. This is when autophagy, mitochondrial renewal, and immune surveillance work best. Dr. William Li's work emphasizes that cancer prevention and healthy aging depend on giving the body space to activate its natural defense systems, and insulin control is central to that process. So what should seniors do instead? First, change the structure of meals, not just the foods. Every main meal should be built around a high-quality protein, non-starchy vegetables, healthy fats. This combination slows digestion, reduces glucose spikes, and keeps insulin lower. Examples: eggs with vegetables and olive oil, fish with greens and legumes, lentils with vegetables and spices. Second, reduce carbohydrate frequency, not eliminate carbohydrates entirely. Seniors do best when carbohydrates are eaten once per day, paired with protein, consumed earlier in the day or after movement. This respects insulin sensitivity while still providing nutrients. Third, stop grazing. Constant snacking is one of the fastest ways to age metabolically. Even healthy snacks keep insulin elevated and block repair. A simple rule: 2 to 3 meals per day. No snacks unless medically necessary. Now here's the key point to remember. Longevity is not about eating less. It's about eating in a way that allows insulin to fall. When insulin is controlled, fat burning resumes. Inflammation decreases. Immune precision improves. Cellular repair turns back on. This is the metabolic foundation of long life. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-based guidance like this every day to help you age stronger, not just longer. In the next section, we'll look at longevity foods through a completely different lens, not as nutrients, but as biological signals that tell your body how to age. Now let's completely change how you think about food, because most seniors believe food is about calories, vitamins, or avoiding disease. But what the research, especially Dr. William Li's research, clearly shows is this: food is information. Every bite you eat sends chemical messages that tell your body to either grow or repair, inflame or calm, protect or weaken. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your immune system is constantly scanning for damaged cells, abnormal growth, and early cancer signals. This process is called immune surveillance. At the same time, your body is regulating angiogenesis, the growth of blood vessels. Healthy angiogenesis supports healing. Uncontrolled angiogenesis feeds tumors, inflammation, and accelerated aging. Dr. William Li's work shows that certain foods help the body rebalance this system naturally, without drugs. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a city under constant maintenance. Blood vessels are roads, immune cells are patrol units. When the system is balanced, roads are built only where needed and patrols are alert and efficient. But when signals are wrong, from poor food choices, roads grow chaotically and patrols get confused. That's when disease takes hold. So which foods send longevity signals? First, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, bok choy, and cauliflower. And these vegetables contain compounds such as sulforaphane, which activate detox pathways in the liver and reduce inflammatory signaling. They also support insulin sensitivity, a critical longevity factor we discussed earlier. Practical protocol: 1 cup daily, lightly steamed or sautéed. Add olive oil for better absorption. Second, berries, especially blueberries and strawberries. Berries are rich in polyphenols that protect blood vessels, reduce oxidative stress, and support immune communication. Research consistently links berry intake with improved metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch between burning sugar and fat. For seniors, this matters because metabolic inflexibility accelerates aging. Protocol: 1/2 to 1 cup per day. Earlier in the day is best. Frozen berries are just as effective. Third, cooked tomatoes. Cooking tomatoes increases lycopene, a compound associated with reduced cancer risk and improved vascular health. Lycopene supports the lining of blood vessels, which affects blood pressure, brain health, and longevity. Simple habit: tomato sauce with olive oil, a few times per week. Avoid added sugars. Fourth, green tea. Green tea contains catechins that help regulate angiogenesis and reduce chronic inflammation. It also supports mild fat oxidation without stressing the adrenal system, important for seniors. Protocol: 1-2 cups daily. Avoid late evening to protect sleep. Now here's the most important principle. Longevity foods don't work because they're super. They work because they're consistent. Small daily signals compound over years. This is why populations that live the longest eat the same simple foods repeatedly: vegetables, legumes, tea, berries, olive oil, not complicated diets. And notice something important. None of this requires restriction. None of it requires counting calories. It requires understanding signals. When the immune system receives the right signals, inflammation lowers, Abnormal growth is suppressed, metabolic health improves. If this is making sense and helping you see food differently, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-driven content like this every day to help you optimize health and longevity naturally. In the next section, we'll address a critical mistake many seniors make out of fear, under-eating protein, and how that quietly accelerates weakness, frailty, and aging. One of the most damaging mistakes seniors make, often out of fear, is under-eating protein. They're told protein stresses the kidneys, raises cholesterol, or accelerates aging, so they cut back, and slowly, quietly, the body begins to weaken. Here's what's really going on inside your body. After the age of about 40, the body becomes less responsive to protein, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means seniors actually need more protein stimulus, not less, to maintain muscle, bone strength, immune function, and metabolic health. When protein intake is too low, three dangerous processes accelerate: muscle loss, sarcopenia, insulin resistance, immune weakness. And muscle is not just for strength. Muscle is one of your most important longevity organs. It acts as a glucose sink, protecting the liver and pancreas from sugar overload. It supports balance and mobility. And it strongly predicts how long and how well someone will live. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of muscle like a metabolic savings account. Every time you eat protein and use your muscles, you make a deposit. Every time you undereat protein or stay inactive, you make a withdrawal. If withdrawals exceed deposits for years, frailty is the result. What the research shows is that seniors with higher muscle mass live longer, have lower cancer risk, better insulin control, and stronger immune systems, independent of body weight. But here's the key point most people miss. Protein only supports longevity when it's eaten correctly. More protein isn't better if insulin is constantly high, and spreading tiny amounts across 6 meals doesn't stimulate muscle effectively. So what should seniors do instead? First, hit an adequate daily protein target most longevity and functional medicine research supports. About 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of ideal body weight, slightly higher for active seniors. This supports muscle without overstimulating growth pathways. Second, eat protein in meaningful doses. Muscle protein synthesis turns on when protein reaches a threshold that usually means 25-40 grams per meal. In 2 main meals, not constant snacking, this gives the body a clear build signal, followed by time to repair. Third, choose protein sources that support longevity. Best options: fish and seafood, eggs, fermented dairy, if tolerated, legumes paired with vegetables. These provide amino acids plus anti-inflammatory compounds. Fourth, pair protein with movement. Even light resistance, standing up, walking, body weight movements, tells the body where to send those amino acids. Protein without movement is inefficient. Movement without protein leads to loss. Together, they preserve youth. Now here's the key insight. Protein does not accelerate aging when insulin is controlled. It prevents aging by protecting muscle, metabolism, and immune function. This is why long-living populations don't avoid protein. They eat it strategically. If this section is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-based guidance like this every day to help you age stronger, not just longer. In the next section, we'll talk about a silent accelerator of aging that almost no one addresses properly: chronic inflammation driven by the gut and liver, and how to calm it daily. Now let's address a driver of aging that almost no one talks about clearly: chronic low-grade inflammation coming from the gut and the liver. Most seniors think inflammation is something you feel: joint pain, stiffness, swelling. But the most dangerous inflammation is the kind you don't feel at all. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, the gut lining becomes more fragile and the liver becomes more overworked. Years of sugar, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, medications, and ultra-processed foods strain these systems. When that happens, inflammatory signals leak into the bloodstream. This creates what researchers call inflammaging, chronic immune activation that accelerates insulin resistance, muscle loss, vascular damage, brain aging. This is not a symptom problem. It's a root cause problem. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of the gut and liver as the body's filtering and security system. When they work well, harmful substances are neutralized and removed quietly. When they're overloaded, toxins slip through, and the immune system stays on constant alert. That constant alert state drains energy and speeds aging. Dr. William Lee's research repeatedly shows that many anti-cancer and longevity foods don't attack disease. Instead, they calm this inflammatory background noise, allowing the immune system to regain precision. So how do seniors fix this at the root? First, feed the gut, not irritants. Beneficial gut bacteria strengthen the gut barrier and reduce inflammatory signaling. Daily protocol, small servings of fermented foods. Plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. 2 to 3 tablespoons is enough. Avoid sweetened versions. Sugar feeds inflammation, not bacteria. Second, support the liver with the right fats and plants. The liver processes everything you eat. When overloaded, it contributes directly to insulin resistance and inflammation. Liver-supportive foods include extra virgin olive oil, cruciferous vegetables, garlic, and onions. These activate detox enzymes and reduce oxidative stress. Third, use legumes correctly. Beans are often misunderstood. When eaten in moderate portions and paired with vegetables and fats, they stabilize blood sugar and feed beneficial gut bacteria. Protocol: 1-2 cup servings, well cooked combined with olive oil and spices. Fourth, use spices as daily medicine. Turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and garlic reduce inflammatory pathways at the cellular level. Consistency matters more than dose. Add at least 1 anti-inflammatory spice daily. Now here's the key principle. You don't fight inflammation aggressively. You lower the background noise. When the gut barrier is strong and the liver is supported, insulin sensitivity improves, immune surveillance sharpens, cellular aging slows. This is why long-living populations eat simple, repetitive meals: vegetables, legumes, fermented foods, olive oil, not constant novelty. If this is helping you understand aging at a deeper level, consider subscribing. I share science-based, practical longevity strategies like this every day. In the next section, we'll discuss when you eat, not just what you eat, and how gentle fasting activates powerful repair systems without stressing the body. Now let's talk about something that may matter as much as food choice itself when it comes to longevity: when you eat. Most seniors are never told this, but constant eating, even healthy eating, can quietly block the body's most powerful repair systems. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your body operates in 2 primary modes: fed mode, digestion, storage, growth; repair mode, cleanup, recycling, regeneration. Repair mode is where longevity happens. This is when damaged proteins are broken down, abnormal cells are removed, mitochondria are renewed, immune precision improves. But here's the problem. Most seniors stay in fed mode all day long. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, dessert. Insulin never fully drops, and repair never fully turns on. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine a city where traffic never stops. There's no time to fix roads, clean streets, or repair infrastructure. Small problems accumulate until the system breaks down. That's what constant eating does at the cellular level. One of the most important repair systems blocked by constant insulin is autophagy, the process by which cells break down and recycle damaged components. Autophagy is strongly associated with reduced cancer risk, improved brain health, and longer lifespan. Dr. William Lee and many longevity researchers emphasize that food activates protection, but fasting activates repair. Now, this is critical, especially for seniors. This is not about extreme fasting, not about skipping meals aggressively, not about stress. Stress raises cortisol, and high cortisol accelerates aging. The goal is gentle, consistent eating windows that the body can adapt to safely. Here's a practical, senior-friendly protocol. First, time-restricted eating. Aim for a 12-14 hour overnight fasting window example. Finish dinner by 7 p.m. Eat breakfast at 9 a.m. This alone improves insulin sensitivity and activates early autophagy pathways. Second, avoid late-night eating. Eating late disrupts circadian rhythm, raises nighttime insulin, and suppresses growth hormone, which is critical for tissue repair and fat metabolism. Simple rule: no calories within 3 hours of bedtime. Third, use fasting-friendly beverages. During fasting windows, water, herbal tea, black coffee, or green tea if tolerated. These support fat oxidation and do not meaningfully disrupt repair. Fourth, protect muscle while fasting. Fasting works best when paired with adequate protein at meals, light daily movement. This prevents muscle loss while enhancing repair, the sweet spot for longevity. Now here's the key takeaway. Longevity comes from rhythm, not restriction. Periods of nourishment followed by periods of repair. When this rhythm is restored, inflammation drops, metabolic health improves, immune surveillance strengthens. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-based strategies like this every day to help you optimize health and longevity naturally. In the next section, we'll cover a topic that confuses many seniors: fats. Which ones protect the brain and hormones, and which ones silently accelerate aging. Now let's clear up one of the most confusing and damaging myths in senior nutrition. Fat is not the enemy of longevity. The wrong fats are. For decades, seniors were told to avoid fat, choose low-fat foods, and rely heavily on carbohydrates instead. But what the research now clearly shows is that healthy fats are essential for the brain, hormones, immune system, and long-term survival. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. Your hormones are built from fats. Your immune cells rely on fats to communicate properly. When seniors avoid healthy fats, cell membranes become rigid, signaling breaks down, inflammation rises, and cognitive decline accelerates. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of fats as the insulation and wiring of a house. If the insulation is poor, energy leaks. If the wiring is faulty, signals misfire. That's exactly what happens in the aging body when healthy fats are missing. Dr. William Lee's research highlights that many longevity-supporting foods work by improving cell membrane health, allowing immune and metabolic signals to travel clearly and efficiently. So which fats support longevity? First, extra virgin olive oil. This is one of the most powerful longevity foods on the planet. Olive oil contains polyphenols that reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel function, protect the brain, support insulin sensitivity. Daily protocol: 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. Use raw or low-heat drizzle over vegetables or protein. Second, omega-3 fats from fish. Fatty fish like sardines, salmon, and mackerel provide EPA and DHA. Fats that reduce neuroinflammation, support immune balance, and protect cardiovascular health. Research consistently links omega-3 intake with reduced mortality risk, slower cognitive decline, improved metabolic health protocol. Fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week, or a high-quality omega-3 supplement if needed. Third, nuts and seeds in moderation. Walnuts, almonds, flaxseed, and chia provide healthy fats plus antioxidants that support blood vessels and reduce oxidative stress. Key rule: small handfuls, not constant snacking. Now let's talk about the fats that quietly accelerate aging. Highly processed seed oils, often found in packaged foods and fried foods, are unstable, easily oxidized, and increase inflammatory signaling. Over time, they damage cell membranes and worsen insulin resistance. These fats don't cause problems overnight. They silently age the body. Now here's the key principle. Healthy fats only support longevity when insulin is controlled. That's why everything we discussed earlier matters. Fewer insulin spikes, proper protein intake, gentle fasting. When insulin is low and stable, fats nourish the brain, hormones communicate clearly, immune precision improves. This is why long-living populations don't fear fat, they use it wisely. If this is helping you rethink nutrition for aging, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-based longevity strategies like this every day. In the next and final part, we'll talk about the amplifiers, movement, sleep, and light, and why food alone is never enough to reach full longevity potential. We've explored why most seniors eat wrong for longevity, even when they follow healthy advice. It's not about willpower or discipline. It's about understanding how the body actually works as it ages. We covered how insulin control is the foundation for metabolic health, fat burning, and cellular repair. We saw that healthy eating can backfire if insulin is constantly elevated. We discussed longevity foods not as calories, but as signals that activate the immune system, regulate angiogenesis, reduce inflammation, and promote repair. Small, consistent servings of cruciferous vegetables, berries, tomatoes, and green tea send the right messages every day. We addressed protein, showing that undereating weakens muscles, metabolism, and immunity, while strategic protein intake preserves strength and resilience. We explored the silent aging accelerators, chronic gut and liver inflammation, and how fermented foods, legumes, olive oil, and anti-inflammatory spices quietly reduce inflammation at the root. We explained why eating timing matters. Gentle fasting and time-restricted eating activate repair pathways like autophagy without stress, allowing the body to recycle damaged cells and stay metabolically flexible. Finally, we clarified the role of fats, the good, the bad, and the misunderstood. Healthy fats from olive oil, fish, nuts, and seeds protect the brain, hormones, and immune system, but only work when insulin and metabolism are balanced. But here's the overarching insight. Longevity is not about restriction or extreme interventions. It's about sending the right biological signals consistently day after day. Small, repeatable habits, like a cup of berries, a serving of cruciferous vegetables, a protein-rich meal, a 12-14-hour overnight fast, and daily movement, compound over years to preserve energy, metabolism, and resilience. Here's your challenge. Pick one change today. Maybe a fermented food serving, a protein-focused breakfast, or a consistent morning walk. Track how your body responds over the next week. Notice energy, digestion, mood, or focus. That feedback is your roadmap for long-term change. This approach, rooted in science, focused on root causes, and delivered in practical, repeatable steps, is exactly what Dr. William Li recommends. It's biology working with you, not against you. If this added value, like the video and subscribe to join others optimizing their health naturally. Every week we break down complex research into simple, actionable steps that seniors can use immediately to improve energy, weight, metabolism, and longevity, all without medication, gimmicks, or deprivation. Remember, your body listens to every choice you make. Start sending the right signals today, and you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years.